Santa Fe is a 2019 film that stars Damian McGinty, John Rhys Davies, and Pancho Moeller. It is on the lower budget side, and all of it takes place in the United States, although the main character is from Northern Ireland, and he is named Pat, and he plays an orphan that was raised in an orphanage in Northern Ireland, and then somehow made his way to New York. It's not exactly explained, but he's a young adult, mid 20s, in New York, and he is searching for a job. And then he finds this job at an Irish pub owned by this guy named Joe, and he's ready to basically take anything he's given, really. So he's dedicated, determined, hardworking kid, and gets this job at this pub until the owner, Joe, asks him to do him a favor one night and carry these two large briefcases a couple blocks down to a certain destination, but not look in the cases and not ask questions in what's inside the cases. So obviously a little suspicious and a little fishy, but he does it because he trusts his boss and he figures that it's not too far away. The boss also, Joe, also pays or offers to pay him 10,000 clams, he states, which I am guessing is dollars because this is the United States. So $10,000 to carry these briefcases. He gets interfered, obviously, and he's told that if he is interfered to just run and hide somewhere, but never look in the briefcases. So these guys, see him, start coming after him. He takes off. He boards a bus, and then he gets from New York to Santa Fe, New Mexico. Now I'm guessing that's a long ass trip, because and the film kind of rushes at the beginning like that because it goes from the pub to that to like straight up to Santa Fe, where he meets this lovely woman named Mrs. Ortega. She's, I believe, a Mexican woman, and she has a bed and breakfast, and he can afford a night there, so he does, and he's basically staying there just to figure out what he's going to do next, pretty much, because he's stuck in this new place, and he's scared with, not knowing what to do with these suitcases, kind of thing. But he does, of course, decide to open them, and he sees a shit ton of money in it. Like, I think over over $1 million. He mentions. I think it was $1,302,000. Yes, that's what he says. $1,300,000. No, $1,300,002. He makes a joke about that. But then he's like, well, technically, 10,000 is mine anyway. Smart guy. So he's like, I'll just consider it in advance. So then Joe ends up finding where he is because before he opened the suitcases anyway, he calls Joe and he doesn't necessarily say where he is, but he tells him like what happened back in New York, and Joe is getting very aggressive with him and whatnot. And he finds out where he is because of the area code that Pat called from, so he knows that he's in New Mexico, and he threatens him and tells him to enjoy like the last moments of his life because he has people coming after him and stuff. And he does make this this deal with these two guys, these two bandits, pretty much, who go to Santa Fe looking for him and to kill him, kind of thing. But what happens is he's going through a mall at one point, and the mall female worker elf lady, the Santa Claus of the mall didn't show up, so she offers him a job immediately, and he kind of is like pressured into it. But then he realizes that it's kind of the perfect opportunity for him at the moment because he can basically hide in plain sight because he has the Santa costume on all the time, and it's a good way to not bring so much attention to himself. Now, unfortunately, he can't get paid because it states in the film that he's an illegal immigrant, so he has that to kind of handle that situation, to handle on top of everything else. And it's a wacky, goofy film that you can tell is low budget, but definitely has a lot of heart. This film I wouldn't consider a musical, but there's a lot of moments that the main character, who I swear is a professional singer because the kid's amazing, breaks into song, and there's a lot of musical moments that are very Christmassy. This film definitely, for one of the first I've been seeing this month, put me right in the mood for Christmas with the way the score is, and the songs that he sings, and just the mood of it, kind of thing. Mrs. Odega has recently lost her husband too, so she's definitely she gets very lonely around the holidays, and she likes having this guy Pat around during the film. It's very sweet. It's very heartfelt. Obviously, there's like romantic interest going on with this elf girl that hired him, and again, the ending, like the very ending, is very cheesy and where things go, because there's this one plot with like the real Santa, and this film does go into like fantasy elements in that sense, but it's really sweet. And if you're along for the ride, if you're along for, like, it's no Hallmark movie, I'll tell you that much. I'm not watching any Hallmark films this year. Sorry guys if you're into the Hallmark stuff, but it's just not my cup of tea. I I've tried to watch a couple like past years, and I'm just like, I can't do this. I can't do this. So unfortunately, on this channel and on this month of Christmas reviews, there's not going to be Hallmark films. But but this film is sweet enough. It definitely has enough of a spoonful of sugar to satisfy anybody without a black heart. So it's pretty cool. And the actors that they chose too, like John Rhys Davies, Gimli himself is like the antagonist of the film, and then Pancho Moller was interesting to see in here too, because I recognize him from Candy Corn, and I recognize him from Rob Zombie's 31. So two horror films, and straight up horror roles that he's terrifying in, and then seeing him in here as this sweet elf character, it was neat. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I recommend Santa Fe. I streamed it on Tubi, but if I ever could find it anywhere on Blu-ray or DVD, I'd pick it up, and I definitely recommend picking it up as well. So it's a thumbs up for me. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice, or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back for more. Check out my others that are already on the channel. And until next review, have a great night, and cheers.